Hello and welcome. Today we are taking a look at Katt Williams, who was requested to us by one of our viewers. So thank you very much. We will credit you in the description box below. So Micah Katt Williams, born September 2nd, 1971, is an American stand-up comedian and actor. He played Money Mike in Friday After Next, had a stint on Wild and Out, portrayed Bobby Shaw in My Wife and Kids, provided the voice of a pimp named Slickback in The Boondocks, and Seamus in Cats and Dogs, The Revenge of Kitty Galore, and portrayed Lord Have Mercy in Norbit. All right.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Look at all the people that come to see you. Some funny, some not funny. They all love you.
Yes, and I them.
Yes. You know what? Here's something we've never talked about. We're both Buckeyes.
Indeed.
You have any memories of Ohio?
Yes, only memories of Ohio. It prepared me so well for entertainment. I think it does that for everybody that's entertainment from there. Isn't Jonathan Winters from there? Ohio is like a place where you can't really be racist unless you really, really try, because your neighbor on the left is black and the neighbor right here is white. And that's how you grow up. And if you grow up like that, it's a very difficult process for you to end up racist. Ohio was good for me like that. I think it's just a rarefied place if you're trying to be a creative.
All right, stop
You
there
ever
for a second.
been bad?
Okay.
Interesting observation. So, we typed an ISFP male the other day, and they were doing this same thing. So, the ISFP male had his hands folded across his chest, and his whole body was hunched over, and he was looking down, like for pretty much the whole interview, except when he
Right.
was, yeah. And this guy's doing the same thing. He's got his head down. He's kind of slouched over. But there's a different feeling to it. The ISFP male was obviously in a mood. You could see it. Like, I don't want to be here. These are dumb questions. I don't know what was going through his mind. You could see he was in a mood, and it wasn't a good one. This guy is just very shy. You can see the difference. He's not in a mood. He's uncomfortable with all the attention. He's awkward. He's, he wants to be here. I think it seems like I can tell like he's enjoying the conversation, but he's very shy
Yeah.
and awkward. And I know we've pointed this out before with ISFJ men, but they can be like this because they're introverted and they come across as sort of awkward in this very sweet sort of way. So it's not like he's not having a bad day. This is just him being uncomfortable with this attention put on him.
Yeah, it's interesting how many manifestations you can get with ISFJ. Really, because it can go like almost any way, I think. Okay, ready? Go.
Or do you go to Chappelle's spot? That's in Ohio.
My grandmother's spot took precedence over Chappelle's farm, but because she stayed right outside UD Arena and Dayton. I was born in Cincinnati but raised in Dayton, but there aren't really any bad places of Ohio. It's a great state. It's got everything you could want.
Yes. Yeah. Now, what kind of stuff are you doing now? Where are you in your comedy progression?
Well, this is special number 12. So, the baker's dozen,
Yes, sir.
just more than any comedian dead or alive, that's all. But who's counting stats and whatnot? But no, it's been this conversation since '95, and each special is just me picking up this conversation. So if I made a mistake in one, then 2 specials later, you'll see that I've changed my conversation about that particular thing because of growth. And the audience has allowed me just to continue this open dialogue. And now that we're getting to a space where free speech is under attack and it's really the dark ages come back, it's just a privilege to have a job where you can talk for a living and share your thought process.
All
So
right,
I'm
let's stop
really
it there.
excited.
Okay.
Okay, so something interesting. You can correct me on this, Mr. FI user, but
Okay.
I watched a lot of this video, and
Wrong.
we're not going to be able to play the whole thing, but he is, throughout this whole interview, he credits his fans all the time with allowing him. He keeps saying, they allow me to do this, they allow me to do that, because of their openness. They accept, it's because of them that I'm who I am. And he keeps doing that all the time. And to me, that seems a little bit more FE. Like an I think you believe that you've done it yourself.
Oh,
I know.
dare you.
I'm right, aren't I?
I end the stream.
Shut up. Let's answer the question. I'm not saying
I
they're
don't
not great.
know.
I'm not saying they're not grateful, but it seems to me like Effie is constantly giving thanks to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like, as an FI, as an authority on FI, that I don't really say thanks a lot. Probably.
No.
But I feel like when I do, it's more sincere than most. You know what I mean? It's more. I don't know. I feel like I do it well. If that makes
Right.
sense.
Yes, and that's exactly right. I think Effie constantly does it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, over and over. Whereas the FI doesn't do it much. And when you do it, it is very meaningful.
Yes, that's right.
For me, like when I get complimented, especially like when I get complimented by you, it means a lot because you don't say it a lot. It'd be like once in a while a compliment will come out. But with FE people, I think they're very complimentary in general. And not that I get tired of hearing it, but it is often like they can be very complimentary.
Yes, I feel like they're
At a more
sort of like a
frequent level.
little pick me up.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like a little boost.
Yeah.
But it's like if I'm gonna compliment or if I'm gonna say anything nice, then it's gotta be worth it.
Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's more of a compulsion there too with the FE.
Right.
You just don't
Compulsion.
get
Good.
with the FI.
Yeah.
All
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's keep going.
2, 1, go.
So let's talk about that area. I have been waiting to hear what you think about all the bullshit. And how we are under attack right now, and no one seems to give a fuck about us.
Well, I named it World War III 9.5 months ago. So that's before Russia and Ukraine. But if you've looked at enough history, you understand that everything works in a cycle. And so you don't have to wonder where things are going. You just have to figure out where you are in the cycle, and that cycle continues to replay itself.
Okay.
What I really like about ISFJ is they're so thoughty. They're so
I know.
cerebral that they thought about all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's this effort they've put into everything. When he gets asked a question, he's like, "Oh yeah, I thought about that. I saw that coming." Because he's done his homework.
Yes.
And ISFJs just seem to be great at doing their homework.
What I like about his humor here, in other words, not in his stand-up act, but in real life here, just in an interview, he like just quickly tosses out funny bits. It's almost like if you're not paying attention, you'll miss them. He just throws them out. And I've seen that with other ISFJ males in my life, that they have this way of just like throwing out the humor, and they appreciate it when they see someone else do it. So I have a family member who's ISFJ male, and he and I have the best time together because he's one of the only people who really gets my humor, because I'll toss stuff out like that, because we have FETI in the same places, and I'll just toss little bits out, and he's right away he laughs. He's the first one that laughs, and sometimes no one else laughs, but he gets it. He's on my same wavelength in that way. And I just love how Katt Williams he tosses out little bits. And if you're not really paying attention, you're going to miss it, but it's funny.
Okay, let's watch a little bit more.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
So, for our group, we're just, our original, my ancestors' original religion was math and science. So, trying to go back to the old religion and incorporate that in the conversation. I'm not going to probably be the greatest comedian once I'm gone, but I will be the one that had the most original conversation, just because.
It's so awkward.
I know even after he said that, he had put his head down,
fan base
complimented
allowed me
himself.
to have that conversation.
See?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
See?
It's a blessing.
Not because of
to
me,
be able
but
to be
because my
wrong
fan.
and to be able to make mistakes and to be able to not have the right answers and not have the press and marketing that guarantees success. There's something to be said about all that. And for me, like, I'm not in competition.
All right, let's stop
anywhere.
it
Like,
there.
I'm really
Again, he's just so humble in receiving praise. I think we've said this before about ISFJs across the board, but he compliments himself, but then he's like, "Oh, it's not because of me. It's because of my fans." And he really means it. You can tell he's sincere.
He's
It's
just
not a
speaking
put on.
like,
Mm-hmm.
Objectively. He's saying,
Yes.
"Oh, actually, I'm original because I'm honest and sincere and brave in what I do."
Yes.
And then afterwards he's like, "I should probably, that sounds
Yeah, that sounds
arrogant or
arrogant.
something."
Yeah, it sounds arrogant. I better tone this down.
Yeah.
It's probably not even worth mentioning because there's only 3 votes on that website, but the 3 are ENTP, which I think is funny because that is that's the opposite of the ISFJ. And if you look
they're
at
watching the
stand-up,
yeah.
yeah, and if you watch it, and I've watched his stand-up, he's again, you can't judge somebody from that. I mean, it's just
People need to remember that.
Yeah.
Performance is exactly that.
Exactly. I mean, if you watch this interview here, how can you say this man is an extrovert? Oh my word, there's just no way,
No.
He's not extroverted at all. But I can see if you watch his stand-up comedy, how you could think he's an ENTP or
Right.
ESTP or something. I don't know, but I could see that, but that's not. It is him, but it's not. It's a put on. And
it's like we said this before, but it's sort of like an alter ego.
I know, and that's exactly what I was thinking of when I watch him in a stand-up. It is kind of his alter ego out on stage, and you could tell he kind of enjoys that, just kind of putting himself out there in that way.
Yeah, I mean, we've typed a few now that have sort of performance professions. So Beyonce, she's like this sweet, quiet ISFJ, but then her music's very like out there and has a bit of like bombast and stuff. And Dua Lipa as well. Same thing again. Like she's just this sort of like quiet ISFJ, very awkward with praise, but then her music videos are all kind of out there.
Right.
And I think it's a thing they like, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it surprises a lot of people when they see him in real life because they make assumptions about him based on what they put out there in their entertaining world. So, yeah. So I think we're done. That's pretty slam dunk. ISFJ. Thanks to the person who suggested him.
I won't say thank you, but goodbye.
I've already said thank you enough, so the FI said it once.
Yes.
If you did, I don't know.
I don't know. I'll save it for the next video.
Okay.